Okay, that's perfect. I think the live session should be on now, 5 minutes before 8 a.m. London time. Session is about to start, so just joining in to kind of break down, price action on some instruments here. For those of you who have been on some of my other live sessions, you guys know that we look at euro dollar, pound dollar, gold mainly, and also the yen cross pairs as well. So just gonna drop a quick message on Telegram, on Twitter, even on Facebook to let people know that we are currently live. And hopefully more people join, right? Just quickly gonna grab the link from here. Uh, what is it today? It's Tuesday, 6th of May. Um, we actually have high impact news tomorrow. For those of you who don't know, we've got Fed interest rate decision, and I'm definitely expecting to see some movement. Right now, this is probably the most important news for the market. Of course, we're talking about news that we see that are scheduled and that we can actually see in the economic calendar. Otherwise, you get Trump say whatever he wants, and of course, this affects price action as well. But when it comes to news that we are aware of, well, then Fed interest rate decision is probably the most important now. So tomorrow is going to be an important day. If you are trading, if you have any trades running, and those trades are not meant to be closed in the next few hours, if you're going to be holding those trades overnight and maybe keep them open throughout tomorrow, just keep that in mind. This is very important. So yeah, okay, like I said, I'm gonna drop a quick message here, and then I'm gonna come back to the charts. In the meantime, you guys let me know if you are currently trading anything, if there are any setups on your radar. I actually think we may have some pretty decent opportunities on the majors, even on gold, even on the yen cross pairs. I'm not sure about setups on the lower time frames because this is what I tend to look at when I'm doing the live session. I mean, we're only doing it for about an hour, twice a week, so within that hour I tend to go down to the 5 to 15 minute time frame. So this is what we're going to do today as well. But when it comes to higher time frames, 1 hour, 4 hour time frames, I think we have some pretty decent setups, and all of that is shared in our premium Telegram channel. So what we're going to go through now is only part of what you get in the premium Telegram channel. And everyone in the premium Telegram, they've already got a video of me breaking down, most of those setups here in my main watch list, like 2 hours ago. So if you really want to take your trading seriously, make sure to check out our website, trendlineforex.com, and you can find more information about what is included in the premium Telegram channel. Okay. All right. I think it's all good now. So what do we have? So we have euro dollar, which, you know, if you look at what's been going on since the beginning of May, which is almost a week ago, not exactly, but about 5 days ago, what do we have? Well, essentially, we're trading around the same levels, all right? So 1.1330 is where price has been hovering around. Not only that, but it looks like we did have some, impulses. We had a bullish impulse. We then had a drop in price, then another one. And so, pretty much around the same levels right now. So you can see that this is actually a strong level when you look at the 1 hour time frame, because we've had the market reacting to this level on multiple occasions before, right? And we are still around that level. So what do you think is going to happen when we talk about the higher time frames? I'm talking about the 1 hour chart, or even the 4 hour chart. If you look at it like this, I feel like we're going to take out those lows right here, and then eventually we're going to go back to the upside. So kind of a long-term projection here is that we are expecting a bullish continuation. Before that though, I really feel like there's going to be another leg to the downside. So this pullback, I think is going to continue slightly lower, all right? And then we're going to see that next move higher. So what does that mean? Well, if we are expecting to see short term a downside continuation on euro dollar here on the 4 hour time frame, that most likely means we could potentially find a trading opportunity to the downside on the lower time frames. Now, I want you to keep that in mind that this is not the main trend direction. So if you are going to be going short on euro dollar or on pound dollar or even on gold, that essentially means you're going against the main direction. So I would only suggest for you to do something like this if obviously you have a proper risk management, you know what you're doing, and you have some experience, right? Otherwise, you should only be trading within the main trend direction. And in that case, that would mean that you want to wait for the 1 hour, the 4 hour time frame to you know do something like this, and then on that reversal, this is where you're going to be looking for your entries, because we're then going to be trading to the upside. All right, so anyways, back to my idea. What I'm talking about here is that we could potentially see another lower high, and as you can see, this is what we have: consecutive lower highs, right? So I'm just going to place the Fibonacci retracement right here, and we're currently trading at the 61.8. So that actually makes it a pretty decent area for price to potentially reverse to the downside. What I'm going to do is I'm going to place this rectangle right here, okay? And I want to see whether we're going to get a reversal from around the 61.8 level. Up to around 76.4 would make a lot of sense as well. But I feel like the quicker we see that reversal back to the downside here on the lower time frames, a stronger confirmation that would be that there's potentially going to be another bearish leg. Okay, so observe price action right about here, even at current price levels, right? Because if we see this momentum coming in, then that probably means we are heading down to break below those most recent lows here around 1.1280. Okay, so this is what I would be looking for if I really want to enter a trade. Okay, so what else? We then have pound dollar, where I have a very similar setup. I would say it's probably going to be more difficult for price to kind of break below those lows. Obviously, we are trading at strong support. I would say this is the 1 hour time frame, and as you can see, we have rejected the level around 1.3260, 1.3250 on multiple occasions again. Okay, so this is a strong support for price. Now, are we going to break below that? I'm not sure. We may just test the lows and then, leave some rejection wicks. So if that happens, that could be a buy signal instead. But again, this is the 1 hour time frame. So what will happen if we drop down to the 5 minute time frame? Again, we're trading at the 61.8 level. So when it comes to which one is going to be stronger in a bullish direction, I would say pound dollar. I would say there's going to be more bullish pressure in pound dollar. So what does that mean? If I'm going to be going short, then I would probably pick euro dollar instead. Okay. What do we have then? We have gold. Now, for me, it would be very difficult to go short on gold. Okay. So essentially what we have here is exactly the same setup that we expect to happen to see on euro dollar and pound dollar. Why? Well, we had this support right here around the level of what is it, 3,260 roughly. All right. So price rejected that level right here, and it rejected it a couple of more times right here. Okay. Now the next thing we saw was short-term bullish momentum, but then immediately after that, the market went down to again retest the same level. This time though, we managed to break below that, and with that breakout, we then had a higher high and a higher low. Okay. So the next thing we see is bullish momentum taking price above all this resistance right here. Okay, and this is where we're currently trading. So I feel like it's going to be very difficult for us, and the odds are probably not going to be in our favor if we want to go against this move. So even though I am expecting that at some point there's going to be some sort of a pullback before the next continuation to the upside, I really don't want to, trade against this move right here. So for me, the best thing to do would be to wait for price to develop this pullback, and then at the end of the pullback, when we see some rejection or when we see some confirmation that price is about to reverse, this is where we want to go long. However, I know there are traders who prefer to be a little bit more aggressive, a little bit more active. So they're looking for trading opportunities all the time. I wouldn't recommend you to do that, but if we drop down to a lower time frame, let's see what we got. I mean, this is the 5 minute time frame. If we break below that, okay, we then form a lower high, then we can potentially look for selling opportunities. But again, like I said, this is going to be very risky. Remember that the overall market direction on the higher time frames, which are more important than the lower time frames, is bullish. Not just on gold, but also on euro dollar and pound dollar. Okay, so keep that in mind. And if you decide to go short, move your stops to break even as soon as you can. And I would definitely say do not risk as much as you would risk if you're trading within the main trend direction, if that makes sense. If it doesn't, leave a comment in the comment section, ask your questions, and I'll make sure to answer them. So what else? We can then move on to the yen cross pairs. Talking about euro yen and pound yen. Where if we look at the higher time frame, I feel like we're going to see a bearish continuation. Before that bearish continuation, though, we may have a pullback right here because we're just coming off of a bearish move. Okay, so maybe a little bit of a pullback won't hurt anybody, and then another drop to the downside on both of those instruments, euro yen and pound yen. Exactly the same setup. But again, if I'm going to be going short, I'm probably going to pick euro yen instead of pound yen. So we'll see how it goes. But for now, I don't really have an entry here. Um, so we can already see some rejection here on euro dollar at the 61.8. Okay. Now, if I see a potential entry, I'm not going to tell you to enter a trade. So do not expect me to do that. I'm just giving you my ideas. I'm just, sharing with you my setups. And if you're happy with what you see, then you take the trade yourself. If you just want to test it out and see how it would go, then open the trade on a demo account. Do not open your trade on a live account. If it doesn't align with your trading plan, but you still want to trade, just have another demo account with the same amount that you trade with in your live account. And I feel like this is going to help you mentally to not over trade on your live account. You see, this is what I'm talking about. This is what kind of reaction we have around the 61.8 on euro dollar, okay? And this is the kind of reaction we have on pound dollar. Again, at the 61.8, it definitely looks like we're more bullish on pound dollar, not on euro dollar. So that's why I'm saying if I'm going to be going short, I would probably pick euro dollar over pound dollar in this case. What do you guys think about those setups? Would you dare go against the trend and look for selling opportunities on euro dollar or pound dollar? Right, we got the 15-minute candle closing in about a minute and a half. So let's see if we get, a strong rejection at this area right here. Now, these are usually the setups that I like the most, with the only difference that this time this setup is against the main trend. But, if I'm looking for a downside move here, obviously we've got price breaking below previous structure right here, okay? We then have a lower high technically, and then we break below previous structure again, right? Right. So we've got the breakout happening twice. Now, next thing is that we not only test the previous highs, but we actually break above them. So a lot of people would, are getting tricked that we're going back to the upside. So what happens is, since we've taken out all those stop loss orders sitting below, or excuse me, above this previous high, we've just taken out all those stop loss orders, and our price is most likely going to head to the downside again. This would normally be the setup I'm looking for as my A plus setup. Yes, Joseph, this is euro dollar, what you see right now on my chart. Yes. So this will be my A plus setup if I'm looking for trades in the trend. So, in this case, if you look at the higher time frames, obviously we are in an uptrend, right? So if that setup is kind of reversed and from bearish we're going back to bullish, I would be taking that trade most definitely any day of the week. But right now I've got to be more cautious because this is basically against the main trend. It's just based on my expectations that there's going to be a continuation of the pullback before price goes back in the main trend direction. So I'm essentially trying to, trade the pullback. And that's why I said in the beginning, it's probably best to do that if you've got some experience or if you know how to manage your trades correctly. Something else that could happen as well is that we have this high, we can take it out and then see that reversal happening. We're still going to be within this area right here. So let's see how it goes. In fact, I'm gonna make the color kind of reddish because this area is supposed to act as resistance, right? All right, pretty decent reaction so far. Yep, we also have 161.8 fib level here on pound dollar as well. What's going on with gold? So 1 hour time frame, we tested the 61.8, rejected that level 3,386. Kind of dropped a little bit by a few dollars and just trying to see whether there's going to be another move to the downside. Overall, I am expecting that we are going to see a pullback here. All right. Now this pullback is probably going to end above the previous low, so that means we're going to see price forming up a higher low and then eventually go back to the upside. Since we know that we have Fed interest rate decision tomorrow, I think today is going to be a very suitable day for those pullbacks. But at the end of the day, this is gold and it will do whatever it wants to do. I need to see some strong bearish momentum to be able to say that, the pullback has started. We don't yet have that. So I would definitely not be going short. I cannot enter a sell trade right now here on gold. So let's see, we've got a rejection candle right here, another rejection wick right here. I do like the previous 15-minute candle here on euro dollar. You know, it's not enough to give us an entry signal, but it is something though. So you guys let me know, do you currently have any trading setups? How about those ones that I just broke down here on euro dollar, on pound dollar, on gold? Do you like any of those setups? Is that according to your plan, or just let me know your thoughts? We've got some kind of rejection on the 61.8 here on pound dollar, but again, that's just not enough. See, that's why we don't rush with entries, right? Yeah, I would definitely skip the yen cross pairs right now. I'll probably focus on euro dollar and pound dollar instead of euro yen and pound yen. Even though we've got a pretty strong push. Couple more minutes until the 30-minute candle closes. Even though it's pretty bullish here on euro dollar and on pound dollar, same on gold, uh, I would still expect that we may have a reversal. And obviously, for those of you who didn't join at the beginning of the session, when I say a reversal, I'm talking about a short-term move to the downside. Overall, I know that we are in an uptrend. I just want to see, but so far, we've got this 30-minute candle pushing right into this area right here. And as you can see, we are now kind of rejecting it. Ideally, I wanted to see a stronger rejection. Um, there's still another minute. No, pretty bullish, I would say. Yep. So we're kind of slowing down inside of this area, which is completely normal. Yeah, but pound dollar is definitely a lot stronger than euro dollar. And at the same time, we've got a massive drop here on the yen cross pairs. Yeah, these are not bad, but overall, after this move, we should have at least some sort of price relief, or a pullback. Um, so for me, it didn't make a lot of sense to look for selling opportunities all the way down here. Considering that we didn't have any pullback within this move. So seeing a little bit of a pullback and then a continuation for me makes a lot more sense to look for trading opportunities. Um, but we didn't have that. What we're seeing right now is a continuation to the downside right away. Even though looking at the 1 hour time frame, we kind of had a signal that price just cannot go any higher because of this rejection week. But it's fine. I'm not trying to rush into any trades, and I would prefer to trade the euro dollar or pound dollar pairs instead of euro yen or pound yen, at least in this case. All right, pretty strong price action in the beginning of today's session. I do like what I see though. You know, at least we have some movement. Sometimes we join in on these live sessions and there's literally nothing going on. But we can see strong bullish price action uh, on all of those instruments. Now, if you look at the 1 hour or even the 4 hour time frame, you will see that not much is going on. I mean, if you drop down to the 1 minute time frame, obviously you had this massive move right here. But then you look at the 4 hour chart, we're pretty much still trading around the same levels. And that's why the lower time frames are really tricky, especially if you don't really have a lot of experience. And it's just because even if you drop down to, let's say, a 5 minute time frame, you have to keep in mind that this is what you see on the 4 hour chart. All right, essentially price hasn't really moved that much. You know, you can't say that you've had a lower high or a lower low. You know, you're still just trading within this range. So I'm really curious to see what will go do, because I am expecting that there's going to be a pullback right here. Is now going to be the moment though. All right, we've got some type of rejection here on the yen cross pairs at the previous lows. So pound yen just took out this previous low right here. Now are we going to see some sort of rejection? We can see some reaction so far. It's just not enough for us to be able to say that we're going back to the upside. Even though I wouldn't be really looking to buy euro yen or pound yen. Instead, I'm more focusing on the majors here. Got something going on gold. Right, pretty decent 15-minute rejection candle right here. And this is also technically a lower high as well. Now remember that I am expecting a pullback here on the 1 hour time frame, which could potentially provide something for us. A further confirmation would be to see price breaking below that, but we're still going to be within this momentum. So really not this level, but instead this level right here. So if we break below that, then we can potentially look for a lower high and a continuation to the downside for a short-term trade. And not only that, we have Fed interest rate decision tomorrow, we also have Bank of England's interest rate decision on Thursday. So, my favorite pairs are pound dollar and gold. This is what I trade the most. So, for me personally, this is going to be a busy week, right? And especially the trades that I'm looking for on the 1 to 4 hour time frame, for me it makes a lot more sense to actually wait for the news and trade after that. Once the market has gone down, once we've seen what's going on, what were the results from the news, and then we can take a more calculated risk, so to speak. It's just that a lot of people struggle with patience. And all that we talk about is manual trading. But for those of you um, who follow us, whether it's be the whether it be the free Telegram channel or watching each one of the videos that I share here on YouTube, you guys know that we've got this tool called volatility trading system, right? And this is what you can use if you're struggling to achieve positive results with manual trading. And even if you do, this tool is really going to um, take the stress out of trading for you. Why? Well, the way it works is kind of simple. if you go through, we've got a completely free course which is on the volatility trading bot. So in order to understand how the bot works and how it's going to help your trading, you can go through the course. It's a short course, not a long one, and you're going to find out exactly how it's going to help you. And this course is completely for free, you know. All you have to do is you have to go to trendlineforex.com, click on that volatility trading button right here, and then you can either request to access the bot, or you can just sign up on our website, and you know you will get um, access to the course immediately. And by the way, if you sign up on our website, you get a lot more benefits than that. We've also got other courses that are completely for free. For example, how to choose a Forex broker. A lot of people have been trading for a long time. They still don't know how the brokers operate. So this is a very, very um, decent course that you must go through, I believe, in order to not get scammed, because there are a lot of scammers in this space. What else? We also have a course on how to get funded. All right. Not a lot of people are focusing on funded accounts and passing challenges. So I'm giving away a full strategy on how to pass a challenge completely for free. All right. All you got to do is sign up on our website. Then you can go to services, funding right here, and yeah, as you can see, you get a full course on how to pass a challenge. Okay, so all you gotta do is sign up on our website, and then you get the course for free. Right, pound dollar is approaching the previous highs, and as you can see, you know, we had rejections around that level multiple times already. So that probably means that we may see another reaction right here around this area. I'm not saying enter a short trade immediately, but all I'm saying is that, you know, we've got a rejection right here, right here, right here. We've got another one up here around 1.33. 30 is where it all happens. And this is where we're pretty much trading at the moment. So there's still about 5 minutes left until the 1 hour candles close, but obviously we are pretty bullish. But anyways, I still remain with the same idea that there's going to be, a continuation of the pullback. Eventually, I feel like we're going to see price breaking below these lows. May not happen during this session. Could be during the US session or before the news tomorrow. But I still feel like we're going to see that. And then we're going to see price going back to the upside, maybe with the help of the news, right? So I'm kind of talking about, price action on the higher time frames right now. But yeah, watch out for the 1 hour candles. Um, see how it goes. Do not rush with your entries. And if you are focusing on the higher time frames, which I personally feel, think is better, just keep in mind that you've got very important news in the next couple of days. So if you don't have good setups, then there's no point to enter a trade. It's probably best to wait for the news to pass, and then you look at the market, and you basically react to what the market does and not to what you think is going to happen. um, so be smart. Do not exceed your risk limit. Do not overtrade. Wait for the best setups only, and this is how you improve your results. This is how you see progress in trading. um, So yeah, I think I'm gonna end the session right here. Thanks everyone who joined. Don't forget to check out all the links um, in the description below this stream. And if you're not watching this live, then obviously below the video, go over to trendlineforex.com, register on our website, and take advantage of every free course that we give away with every registration. Um, if you want to take your trading to the next level, if you want me to send you short video setups, video updates on the setups that I trade, well, this right here, section 1 is my main watch list, and this is what I share with the premium Telegram members every single day from Monday to Friday before the London session starts. I send a 10-minute video analysis and an update on every setup, every potential setup that I have on my watch list. So you will know in which direction to trade. You will know what are the key levels, potential take profit, stop loss levels, and stuff like that. It's gonna, uh, the premium Telegram channel will keep you up to date with every single setup that I see and that I would trade myself. If you want to join, then you can text me, or again, you can go over to Trendline Forex and you can request access from there. If not, the easiest way to do it is probably to send me a quick message on Telegram. You can find my contacts in the free Telegram channel. Let me know that you want to join the premium Telegram channel, and this is probably the easiest way to do it. So yeah, keep an eye on the 1 hour time frame, and then react accordingly. I think this is all for now. I'll leave you guys to it, and I'll see you in the next live session. Remember, uh, we do those live sessions twice a week, every Tuesday and Thursday. So the next one is going to be on Thursday, 8th of May. Okay, same hour, 8 a.m. London time. We're going to break down more setups, and it's going to be after the Fed interest rate decision as well, right? So we're definitely going to have some setups on the line. Okay, I think I'm going to end it here. I'll see you in the next one.